Hey there, everyone, and welcome to DBS Films Podcast. It's just me and you, so that means it is a DBS indie production update. In these episodes, we go ahead and just kind of give you guys an update where we're at in the filmmaking process. It is currently April 23rd when you are listening to this, and we have a lot of exciting news for this week. First off, before we hop in, be sure to check out The Girl in Cabin 13. It is on Tubi for free, so you can go ahead and watch it. No cost whatsoever, means the world to us, and we would absolutely love the support. So if you haven't seen it already, please go ahead and check it out. So as I mentioned, we have some big news. One of the biggest things is The Haunting of the Murder House, the next movie that we filmed back in November. That is going to be the newest movie coming out this year. It is ready for our DBS superfans to watch. So if you are a DBS superfan, that means you have the ability in our Discord channel to watch it tonight, world premiere at 9 p.m. Again, we're going to watch it. We're going to get all of your feedback. We actually have a pretty long quiz for you guys to fill out, but you'll get a lot of DBS points for that, so we'll make it worth your while. But really, it's something where we are so excited for this one. I cannot wait. I actually watched it again tonight just because, I can't help myself. It's such a good movie. Really, really happy with the final product of it, so much so, and I'm really excited to see what people think about it. So all the super fans listening to this right now, I hope you guys are very excited. I hope you guys are bring your popcorn, bring all the snacks, bring everything, because we are going to go ahead and watch it tonight. We're also going to watch it again on Monday as well. So it's basically two opportunities for super fans to watch it. Then you guys are going to, we're going to get your feedback. We're going to get your reviews, and we're going to see how we twist it and adjust it from there. So really excited. I'm super happy with the product. It's been, I know, about 2-3 weeks I've been promising it, but it is finally here. So that means all of our super fans will be able to go ahead, watch this movie, see all of our hard work, all of the efforts. Everyone's going to meet Mo, and it's going to be great. Honestly, it was a big step up in my opinion. It's just paced really well. It moves really quick. So I'm really excited to see what the super fans think. Hopefully they think the same thing that me and my brother are thinking, in the sense of this is our best one yet. But I'm happy regardless of it. So we're very excited for that. And then again, the filmmaking process is one that's pretty slow. So most likely this movie will not be released until later in the year. We're talking August, September, October, possibly. It really just kind of depends on what happens when it goes through our agent, what the agent goes to the distribution, what that deal looks like, what the process of their turnaround is. So you most likely will not be able to see this movie for a long time unless you are a DBS super fan, in which case you get to see it now. You get to give us feedback, and we're actually going to make adjustments based on those notes. So it is really, really important. And again, we always want to work with our super fans within our Discord community to really provide you guys the best insights. It really helps us out too, but honestly, it's a reward for just being such great fans that you guys get to see this movie for free and before anyone else does. So I'm super excited. Again, be sure to tune in if you are a super fan, if you are listening to this, because that is going to be something that you do not want to miss. Now, going into the second big thing, we are a week away for the most part. So we have basically next week and then a few more days. So like in 7 more days, May 1st, we start filming the Shapeshifter movie. So this is going to be something that's exciting. Today, I was actually with my brother talking over some of the script points of it, talking through a lot of the different elements of it. Nothing major, but I fought for my intro, and I believe I got my intro in there because I'm very opinionated about that intro. I love the idea that I have, so I was fighting for it. Hopefully it'll be kind of that way too. But I think it's really going to be a clean script. In reading it, this is definitely one of the scripts that reads the best. It's weird saying that, like, reads good, but essentially as I was reading it, I could already feel the pacing of it and the movement of it that we're seeing in The Haunting of the Murder House, more so than I felt about any of our other scripts before, more so than I felt about The Haunting of the Murder House script. So it is something where I am feeling really confident in our ability to execute. We also gave ourselves some more days to film, which is always good. And I kind of had a talk with my brother. I think last time we had a little bit too much coverage, which too much coverage is always way better than not enough coverage. But if you have too much coverage, it kind of slows you down a little bit too. So we have a really good strategy in how we're going to get these wide shots, how we're going to block it off, how we're going to get the close-ups, how we're going to really manage the time. And I'm hoping it's going to be a really clean shoot. Our goal here is to really be done with the entire movie, no pickups needed, so that we can hop right into editing, so that we can hop into making this movie, and that we can hit our goal of making 3 movies this year. So this will be movie number 1. Shapeshifter. I think it's going to be a pretty cool concept. I think you guys will like it. I think it's going to be a little bit spookier with the woods and everything. We have Chloe from The Girl in Cabin 13 coming back. We have Tyler from The Haunting of the Suicide House. We have Dylan from Cabin 13 and also Suicide House. We have Aries, who's our first super fan that is going to be in the movie with us for the super fans. So that's really cool that we got our first super fan in the movie. We got Joe's back, so we got Reggie back. Basically really good cast. You got me, so you have to deal with me, but other than that, we have a really good team, and I'm very excited for this production. I think it's going to be really fun, and we'll be sure to give you guys live updates. We'll give you a lot of live scene TikTok lives. We'll probably do some podcasts there. Maybe we'll interview some of the actors. It should be a pretty fun time, so I'm excited for that. And as always, what we want to do in these episodes is answer some of our superfan questions coming from the Discord community. So let's go ahead and bring some of those up. So we have the first one from Michael Rosillo. His question is, what's the process of writing the scripts for your films look like? And also, what directors and films do you think influence your style of filmmaking and script writing? Great question. I would say our script writing process really has changed, just like pretty much everything that we've done when it comes to the filmmaking process. We really started off one way, and then as you went through the process, you almost kind of understand a lot better, as is anything in life. But really the major differences now, I think, is when we first started doing the screenwriting, we were very rigid and like, this is what the script needs to look like, this is how it needs to be outlined. We put a lot of effort into like individual tiny things in the script. Whereas now the script is more of a very flexible outline for us, especially since we're the ones writing it and then filming it. We have that luxury. If you're a writer out there, you got to write that finished product because that's your best impression. For us, we basically just need to understand what we're doing. Like even now, the script that we're working with basically has like a little bold note that's just like, hey, this is the point of the scene almost. To just really kind of get it across and get all of the actors and get everyone on the same page. So that's really kind of the major goal of the script now, is to just really be a concise outline for us. The process, though, really what ends up happening is typically me and my brother sit down, we come up with like the 15 or 20 some 30 beats, however it takes, really just what's breaking down the story. And what a beat is essentially something happened. So if you watch Girl in Cabin 13, it'd be like, intro, character development, then they arrive at the cabin, then they go for the hike, then he sees Carl. So just like really you can kind of break it down into chunks. So we basically agree on the overall beats. Then what will happen is I'll go back, I'll write a version of the script. My brother will write a version of the script. We get together, we see what we like with one, what we like with the other, kind of combine it, go one direction, and then continue to do that. We do it about 3-4 times, and then we have a finished one. And then once we have the finished one, it's really kind of picking the details apart. So that's really what it looks like on our end now. It's a fun process. I do enjoy the writing process, so I really like it. And then when it comes to directors and films that influence your style, I really think Jason Blum and Blumhouse really embodies what we're trying to do, which are, typically now he shoots movies for $5 million, which is considered super low budget in Hollywood, which is crazy to us, but basically it's something where he makes a very clean product. Typically it's a horror movie or horror genre, although he's branched out with a few other things. However, it's just very clean, it's story driven, there's not a lot of frills or anything, but it gets the job done. It really, think of the Insidious, Paranormal Activity. A lot of these like big Hollywood movies that people think about are coming out of Blumhouse when it's a clean product there. So that really inspires us for what we want to try and do. On top of that, you have people like Mike Flanagan. You have James Wan is a big one too. Those are all really good directors within that horror universe and that horror genre that are really good. Like I just love their pacing. I love how they pull it off. I mean, even Aquaman from James Wan I thought was really good. He just has a skill for moving and progressing things. Also, him doing Saw was absolutely amazing, one of my favorite ones. So those are just kind of a few of the directors, but any movie I watch really has the potential for inspiring me. And thanks again, Michael, for joining us on the Discord. It was really cool having you, even though you did betray me in the Among Us game night. It's fine. I understand it. So no worries there, man. Next, we have I'm Crystal. And Crystal, she asks, are there scenes from any of the films that are off script or improvised? Great question. And honestly, the way that we look at it now, as I was kind of mentioning, is the script is a flexible document, and I really see it on three different levels. The first level is the overall movie, and that doesn't change, in the sense of what's the point of the scene, how do we progress here, how do we move from one scene to the next scene to the next scene, what's the ending. So that's the first level and the most important. Second level to me is kind of how the scene plays out, and this one will change all the time, mainly because of location and walking it out. And this could be something where it's like, well, we had them in a closet, but we don't really have a good closet, so maybe we just put them over here. Or instead of doing this, they do that because of the limitations of the set. So those things change all the time. And then the third level is like the dialogue, and that changes like probably the most, in the sense that we have an overall dialogue, but we kind of talk through it. Is this something that you want? What's improvised? We talk through a little bit of it, because what we figured out is honestly actually better for the actors to improvise a little bit, because it's more natural. If they improvise a line, it's kind of more natural to them than what we said. It would probably be more natural if we said the line that we came up with, because again, it came from us. So that's just something where, now we really do allow for a lot of improvisation or improv from our actors, just because it kind of makes the role their own. So that's a great question. Again, we have the luxury of being able to film it as well, so like we can really deviate from the script. But I would say, level one, like I said, everything's pretty much set. So maybe like 95% of it doesn't change. Level two is probably like 70%, with 30% changing due to restriction. And then maybe like 50% of the dialogue gets slightly tweaked. You do have still like some overall notes and everything, but like a word here, a word there will change. And that really can make the difference for an actor making it their own line. So thanks again, Crystal, for joining us as well. Super fun having you part of the Discord and our community. And then the last question is from Jill Pond, and Jill won our trivia night last week, and she is coming for trivia night again. So thank you so much, Jill, for being a super cool part of this community. So you asked, what is the most valuable piece of feedback you have ever gotten? Is there anything that sticks out? So I wouldn't say it was one piece of feedback, but the most valuable feedback to me was when we were going through the haunting, or when we were going through the haunting of the suicide house and into the forest. And that feedback that we got was, what the heck's going on? And we've gotten that feedback pretty much all the way through up until the haunting of the Morgan estate and the devil in the room. And even those, we get it a little bit more. But really the main reason why I think that's the most valuable feedback that we've ever gotten is because until then, we didn't understand that you really need to drive home the plot 3 times, multiple times in a story. And I think this is something that happens to any indie filmmaker, because when you write the script, it is so clear in your head that if you reiterate something 3 times, you almost feel like, oh, I'm treating the audience like they're dumb. And you're not. You're in the thick of this movie so much that you don't understand that it's not as clear as you think it is. So like, and a lot of times people be like, yeah, and then like they see the thing in the background and everything clicks, like, oh, that's such a dead giveaway. Not going to be the case when the audience watches it. You really have to guide them through it. And I also think another reason for this is, when was the last time you watched a movie without looking at your cell phone at any point in time? When was the last time you sat down and you're like, I'm going to perfectly focus on this movie, I'm not going to do anything else? And if you end up missing 1 line or 2 lines of dialogue, then there goes your entire story. People have no clue what's going on. So like, for instance, for the haunting and suicide house, we watched it with our Discord fans, and literally the main question in the Q&A was like, what was the story behind this? And if you go back to that movie, we laid out the story in like a 2-paragraph thing, but each line was completely different. It was like, Rosemary was abused by her husband, so she ended up taking her baby's life, and then she ended up haunting it, and then people moved in and they went insane, and then this one girl ended up going and murdering her parents. Like, we did this whole spiel, but it's a single line, and it didn't really quite push it home. Whereas for the haunting the murder house, which was looking at the movie again, basically the same concept, hey, he got possessed, this person got possessed, by the way, this person got possessed. 3 different times we really strike it home that they get possessed, and there's no additional frills, no additional story. You just pick what the story is and reiterate it 3 times, because they might be on their phone, they might miss it, it's not as clear, and it seems redundant now, when we write it, but now that we understand. So that feedback to me was one of the best things that we've ever got, because since that feedback, we ended up, really changing our style of doing the plots and making sure that what is the plot? Here's plot 1, here's plot 2, here's plot 3, and the 3 points of reiterating it. So much so that if you completely miss the entire story, if you just listen to that 3rd plot point where we dump it again, well, there you go. Boom. And even in the new one, the Shapeshifter, we have those 3 lore dumps. We have the lore dump of, hey, just in case you're, lost and not understanding, here's exactly what's happening. Let's go into the climax. And I think that's something that's super important. I hear it all the time with indie filmmakers, that they basically give the same feedback of like, well, I thought it was clear to me. And it does not surprise me, because it is super clear to you. The only issue is it's only clear to you because you're the one literally writing the script. And I think that, to me, was the best feedback that we got between all of our movies. So thank you so much, Jill, for being part of this community. I love getting your feedback when you watch our movies. It's super fun. Love having you here. Love having all our super fans. You too can become a super fan. And if you were a super fan, as I mentioned earlier, you get to watch The Haunted in the Murder House tonight for free. So it's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for it. You can go ahead, join our Discord, follow us online, all sorts of things. We really want to be a very community-focused indie studio here, so much so that we really work with, we cast, and we just, want you guys to be part of the DBS community, because honestly, the support we get, it is just absolutely amazing, and we are thrilled with it. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Next week, we will be highlighting some more of our top 10 things that you need to know as an indie studio, and also looking back on the Hateful Eight. And then the week after, we will be on set. And when we're on set, I'll probably do a few cool things when it comes to live streams or podcasts. So make sure you follow us, make sure you subscribe, make sure you do all of that fun stuff. And until next time, have a good one.